Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. We have another Distro Wars. Today we want to have a look at two very popular distros, both based on Mate, those being Ubuntu Mate and Linux Mint Mate. So that is where we are going to be going today. Let's go ahead and jump on into comments first. Diotitus, how's it going there? Greetings. Joshol, how's it going there? NP Vironic, how's it going there? Will it be as snappy as the main version? I believe it does carry with it all of the philosophies that regular Ubuntu does. So yes, it's going to have some snaps. We will look at which ones are installed by default. Of course, Linux Mint's going to block snaps by default. So depending on which direction you want to go, that give you some information. Keegan, greetings. Little ones are taking a nap. Need a break from studying for macro econ. Well, that sounds fun. Let's see. I must have the coof here. No, that's not why I took a couple days off. All right. Let's see. Joseph, how's it going there? And I can help English Bob with sarcasm. All right. Let's see. I just installed Ubuntu Mate on a VM recently. What a coincidence. And let's see. And Farron installed it on a regular one. Woohoo. Hellcat, greetings. Koala66, greetings. Running the beta works well. Yeah, this beta version of Ubuntu seems to be very stable, so we'll look around at it. We'll probably put Farron OS Classic on there again soon whenever I figure out how on earth to automatically downgrade packages. Gotcha. Let's see. Emojis were fixed after upgrading to Plasma 520. There you go. Hellcat M. My name. How is it? Very good. It is like a Hellcat. Just like my little Hellcat right here. And actually, this one's not the Hellcat. The other one, though, is a Hellcat. She'll run into the room, hiss at you, and turn around and run out again. It's like, what is wrong with you? I don't know. Okay. She just has a little devil inside because she's a little Hellcat. Let's see. Wish YouTube and Me6 would allow searching of channels by their URL IDs. Doesn't YouTube doesn't have that function? Interesting. Let's see. Okay, gotta get your dad to switch to Linux with Farron OS. There you go. That's a good one. Brylan, how's it going there? Greetings and good afternoon to you as well. As it is, always been Ubuntu LTS version, gets updated over time, does so with other select applications. Memes, in fact, it's a fact that FOSS is better and the Mint is better than Ubuntu. Ooh, lobbing cannonballs. Lobbing cannonballs. All right. The war is on. This is a distro war, so I guess cannonballs are allowed. Amen. How's it going there? Hello to you. Ryan, hello. How's it going there? Can you easily make Mint use snaps? Yes, you can. Mr. Tech Guy, unfortunately, when you downgrade to the newest kernel, your Wi-Fi stops working. Uh-oh. Oh, when you upgrade. Why did you say downgrade? I don't know. When downgrading to the newest kernel. What are you, a time traveler? I mean, come on. Hey, pizza. How's it going there? PineTab can't boot off micro SD cards. Really? Mine has no problem with it. Did you try starting with just one of the images? I've done Arch and I've done Manjaro. Both have booted just fine. But if your PineTab doesn't boot off of SD cards, that really sucks because UBports is horrible. I'm not saying it's going to stay that way. I'm just saying it's completely non-functional. I think they focus so much time on making it look pretty, but looking pretty doesn't do anything. It's not a useful thing. I'd rather have it be ugly and functional. And like mine, I don't think Bluetooth works. Wireless is spotty. Keyboard doesn't work well. The mouse gets locked into a tiny window. Rotation doesn't work. But if you install Arch, all of those are fixed. Like everything is fixed. Arch works perfectly on the PineTab. So I'll do a review of it eventually here. Let's see. Apparently pull kit for Pamak. Who would have thought? I think I see a hiatus on development was for the best. Seems like the original Cub Linux creator came up with or found a panel style for Tint 2 that looks like modern Chrome OS. Interesting. Does not have an auto hide feature though. All right. Buggy kernel is a downgrade. Yeah, there you go. I think yours has hardware issues. Interesting. Technically, let's see. I'll have a look at that. Let's see. Let's copy link address. Go ahead and put that link over here. Paste and go. See what that is that you're sending me. Okay. Want to install. Other than Ubuntu Touch, can I get the Pine tab to boot off the SD card no matter what I do? Don't think the SD card reader is broken because Ubuntu Touch can detect it. Tried 4 different micro SD cards from 3 different brands, 4 operating systems, Mobian, 4 ways of burning SD card, Etcher, DD Etcher, GNOME disks. And I have been extracting the compressed ones. 4 opening thread, read all the wiki pages. Let's see. What's your OS? Did you try a variety of different host operating systems? So I've done all of mine with Linux Mint and just using the disks utility image burner. That's what I've been using for mine. So, and that seems to work. But yeah, good luck with that. Okay. Manjaro and Solus OS, which rolling release is best? Of those, Manjaro. I think Manjaro is a really good distro. Let's see. You're on Ubuntu and upgrade 5.4, then it might not work at a cafe for free Wi-Fi. Custom shortcut icon for Dropbox folders don't seem to open properly on Plasma 520. Everything working in Arch. Yeah, I know. How's it going, DT? Greetings. Okay, let's see. We'll install Arch, but I can't because of the hardware issue. Interesting. If you install Arch, all of those are fixed. I know, right? All right, DT, I got a good question for you then. You know what I cannot get working on Arch right now on my main system is I cannot get databases to open reports. It's like Arch LibreOffice is missing the LibreOffice, is it Create Reports, I think is the package. I tried some things in the Arch. I haven't exhausted every resource yet, so let me exhaust a few more and then I'll reach out to you more thoroughly, let you know everything I've tried. But yeah, I cannot get reports to run in Arch. All right, let's go ahead and dive on into the distro war here. So we'll go ahead and get myself prepped up with that. And with that, we will go ahead and set the kitty on the ground. We're not going to put the kitty down, but we'll just set him on the ground. Right, buddy? You can come back up a little bit, and we'll get you your kitty treats, okay? Yeah. Get you your kitty treats in a few minutes, okay? All right. Get ourselves all ready, and let's get going. Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. This is another Distro Wars. We're going to be looking at 2 very popular Linux builds, those being Ubuntu Mate and Linux Mint Mate. So yes, I've done Ubuntu versus Linux Mint, but now we're pinning up the Mate desktop environment. I'll say at the outset, the Mate environment itself is not my favorite overall, but it is very good. There's just something in it that just doesn't jive with me, and I have never quite figured out what it is. Overall, though, it is a very good desktop, and what we want to do here is we want to have a look at what both of these two are, what they have to offer, and play around with them in a virtual machine. So looking at their websites, ubuntu-mate.org, this is an official community flavor of the Ubuntu. And so today we are going to be testing the 2010 beta version of this, which is certainly stable enough to give as a run-up for Linux Mint 20, which still has not received some of its early updates and is not particularly all that good. So that's why I'm still telling people stay on Linux Mint 19.3 until 20.1 comes out. That's my personal recommendation. That's what I'm doing with my machines. So with Ubuntu Mate, however, we have some basic screenshots here. We get a nice welcome screen. We will see that. We have nice calendars. Oh, look at this. There's some images, web browser, I guess that is. There's Steam playing on it. There's a video playing on it. So there you go. You have a variety of things. They do actually have Raspberry Pi builds for 2B on up to the current 4. So that's one of the great things about Ubuntu Mate is this team is just all over it. And they do a really excellent job as well. Linux Mint, of course, my old favorite. You can head on over to the Linux Mint download here, and they have 3 different varieties. These are going to be pretty much exactly the same, just with a different desktop environment. Of course, anything that is desktop environment specific changes to whichever desktop we have. And so you can head on over here. You go back to all versions. You can get some older versions there. Like I said, I still recommend if you're new to Linux Mint, I would still recommend using 19.3 until 20.1 is released, which should be coming up pretty soon. There are a few extra bugs in Linux Mint 20, and it's never my recommendation to upgrade and use the latest package right when it comes out. That being said, of course, we're going to be pinning this one up, which has been out for a while, and that's next to a beta. But anyway, it is going to work out fairly well because the Ubuntu .10 releases are usually extraordinarily rock solid. So what we're going to do here is we will go ahead and start looking at Ubuntu, and then we will have a look at Linux Mint next. So we just booted into the machine. It goes right on into our loading screen with the nice customized Ubuntu Mate logo. Following the triad of Ubuntu tying in with the Mate logo. And we'll come back when this is booted up. I got the coof. Come on. All right. Now let me turn on desktop audio here. There was a nice little nice little toggly noise when you start booting it in. So here we are landing on the login screen here. We have accessibility options up here in the corner. We can shut down, suspend the machine, do your basics here. And then over here, we'll just go ahead and enter our super secret password that's definitely not 123. And then we are going to land on the desktop. Now, one of the things that I'm not a huge fan of on this is that it actually installs updates automatically out of the box. And I did not realize this, and so I like to install the distros and then go ahead and update them, which I usually go into the terminal and do, and I go into the terminal and everything's locked. I'm like, really? So you check the update settings, and lo and behold, that if you check the software and updates settings, the default for this build is actually to have under updates, download and install updates automatically. So yes, this is Ubuntu Windows 10 Edition. Now, it's not completely like that because you can actually display them immediately, download them automatically, or download and install automatically. So they have the download and install automatically set by default. The good news is if you do not know how to update your system, you're not going to get nags. It's just going to automatically do them. The bad news is for those of us that like to do things manually, I did not know it was doing this until I tried to do an update with the terminal and it crashed out on me. So I turned that down and went ahead and did that. Let's go ahead and see if there is a system monitor, see what type of RAM we're looking at here. So we're running on just under a gig of RAM, which is pretty good. Now our welcome screen here, let's look at this before we look at anything else in the system. This is a very nice welcome screen in that we have introduction, we have features, getting started, involvement, there's community. Now there's a software button. This is the software boutique. I have a couple of criticisms of this software. Now as of now, I do have it working, but when I first got it installed, it was not showing me any software. I couldn't search for any software. It took a while. Basically, it had to be installed and it had to run through that first batch of updates, which I didn't know it was doing in the background, but it was. And this was completely empty. I couldn't find anything. I couldn't search for anything. And that's kind of what I got. But now that it is updated and now it is working, they do tell you that this is not like a full installer. It has a little bit of software, and they'll actually tell you in the thing that you will want to install a full store like the GNOME or the Snap Store or whatever else. Let's have a look at what our details are here. So this is from the Ubuntu repository. So this out of the box does not appear to be pulling in from snaps. So for those that do not like the snaps, you will like that. If you do like snaps, you will probably not like that, but that is neither here nor there. Now, the next thing that we have with this is we have desktop layout, we have color selection, and browser selection. These are three amazing parts of the tools. Of course, Linux Mint as of 20 does now support a color selection, which is going to be much the same. So if you want to use the different ones, you do need to install them. We do have the default greens, but if you want to run something else, for example, the orange, just go ahead and hit the install button, and then this is going to give you the option to check your orange options as well. So this is a great balance in that they're not bloating up the system with a lot of themes, but they are giving you an easy option to go with them. And so that's actually a nice balanced approach. I like this approach because it keeps the system a little bit lighter. There's not as much bloat. And if you never want to use purple or teal icons, they are not going to be on your system. So there we have it. We have just changed everything to orange, and give me the green back. Holy crap, that orange is hard to look at. Okay. But anyway, it's there. We do have options for light or dark. So let's go ahead and see. I'm guessing that the ambient is going to possibly change. Okay, so there's your radiant. Here is your ambient dark theme. And here is an ambient with some light and some dark. Let's go ahead and pull up a window here just to have a look at what these guys are going to look like in more context. There we are. Here's your menu. Here's your pure dark. Here's your menu, or we have this one here where we have this. I like this balance, so this is pretty nice. So this is really good in that we have a variety of color options, and you can actually easily delete them if you do not want them, which is kind of cool. Awesome. So that's actually a really good bonus for Ubuntu here. Browser selection. This is something I wish that Linux Mint would have, particularly, installing Chromium by default, although we are getting that in 2001. All right, so with this, we have the ability here to install Firefox is, of course, installed by default. We can delete it. We can install Google Chrome, Opera, Brave, Chromium, and Vivaldi. So that is an excellent option. And then the last is the desktop layout option. So you have a variety of layout options. So this one here, we have a panel on the bottom. We have a show desktop icon. We have a trash can and some desktops over here, so you can switch between different desktops. We also have Mutiny. We'll kind of cycle through all these guys here. Look at this guy here. So it's very much like your Ubuntu basic build here. We have Redmond, which is basically a Windows build. And this is effectively what we have on Linux Mint. So Linux Mint defaults to this Redmond type view. We have a Cupertino, which is going to be an Apple type build. So nice dock built in there. Everything is out of the box. So we just have a lot of different things. Here's a few other ones. Here's a traditional. Here's a contemporary. Here's a Pantheon view. Notebook view. Let's have a look at what the contemporary looks like. Kind of like the familiar, I guess. Very similar to it. All right, so there we have that. As far as what we have installed out of the box, just your basic suite of tools. We do have the Software Boutique. We looked at that already. You can install extra software centers. Let's go ahead and boot that guy back up, see if it tells you about that very easily there. So it says if you can't find what you're looking for, install one of these software centers to use them completely. So here's Software Center, there's Synaptic. So we basically have 2 software centers. All right, so let's go ahead and do a brief look at the terminal. I want to see if there's any snaps installed by default. So we do. We have the core. We have Core 18 Snapd. Software Boutique is actually a snap, and Ubuntu Mint welcome screen is also a snap. So those are the snaps that we have out of the box. We do have LibreOffice. This is one that comes with Evolution installed by default. It's a distro after my own heart. I mean, that's really good. Here's your additional drivers, the other tools that you have, which you can access those in the control center down here as well. So you can see it's not excessively bloated. I do love the options that they have to keep all of the variety of themes and color options not installed by default, but easily allow you to install them. Out of the box, this one here is very nice. The only real downside of it is going to be those automatic updates, and I did not know it was doing automatic updates, and so the software boutique wasn't working, and so it took about an hour for me poking around to get the system to where I could use it. If you just installed it, played with it for an hour, you might not have noticed that, but there is overall the brief look at Ubuntu Mate. So we will jump on back in and look at Linux Mint next. Alrighty. Doing good on time. Let's get this guy shut down. Ooh, did you guys hear the audio? Sound like a little Ubuntu desktop there. All right. Let's see. I've done all mine with Ubuntu 2004. All right. Well, host matters shouldn't matter, though, but it might. It might. I have found a few weird and rare cases where that occurs. One instance is if I may or may not have ever ripped DVDs, I have found that some distros rip them better than others. No, I don't think it should matter, but if you've tried everything else, it might be worth a try. Especially if it recognizes it. I don't know, that's weird. Anyone seen the weird bug where there's a huge empty space around the user switcher widget? Interesting. No. Okay, did watch it. Yep. Okay. Plasma version. Don't really use LibreOffice. Not gonna be much help on that one. All right. Yeah, it seems to be something with the report software. Doesn't get itself installed. Linux Mint doesn't install it by default, but it's available to be installed. So I was able to get the databases working there. So I created the databases on Peppermint, ported the file over to Linux Mint. That worked. I can't get it to work on Arch, sadly. We're on time. All right. Okay, college technology program is mostly Windows-based except for 2 Linux class. I want to choose the Linux path so I can help future employer be more secure and save money. Yeah. It's a scene of those ugly bots now. Today's not my favorite either, but at least it isn't no. I might be with you on that one. The downside is on the 2 other distros that I installed on the Pine tab are both posh based on GNOME, and it's okay. It wouldn't be my choice. I'll have to see if something is running Plasma on the Pine tab. That would be fun, or see if I can port it over or something. That would be awesome. Spambot post on that video. Not sure why I'm getting targeted on that. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of those too. I've just been blocking and reporting all the spam bots. So it's been working with Ubuntu Mate on the Brisk menu. There you go. Nothing about the Arch install is complicated. Less than 20 commands. Nothing is advanced. Well, Peter, if you can help me get my reports working on Arch, I'd appreciate it. It's like that's the one thing I've not been able to get working on this computer for multi-purpose stuff. But being able to access, because that's like a production book sales database. So I kind of need it to work in as many computers as I can. Okay, targeting huge Vim user niche on YouTube. All right. Showing people here, unless you need a particular feature, most needs can be performed by LibreOffice. I've passed classes using it, even though I could use Office 365 for free. Yeah, but why would you want to? Man. Bedrock offers nothing for you. All right. No, down. Still a few small issues to fix, but I like it. Welcome Windows 7 to 10 Windows Manager. Did you need to enable arrow effects on it? Well, you do have compiz, so you can do arrowy and other weird type of effects on it. So, password is not 123. It's DT's password is definitely not DT. You know, it's definitely not 123. I'll tell you that. Better than others. The DE is not really the only thing that matters. Besides, I can make Plasma and Arch look exactly the same as Plasma on Neon. Yeah. Ooh, 213, 312. I get all conspiratorial and say it's room 101. Ooh. $314, because I love pie. Hey, I just had me an apple pie the other day. I think I made it on Saturday and I finished it 2 days ago. I mean, it didn't last long. When I make an apple pie, though, I'm telling you, I do make the best apple pies in the biz. Capitalization matters for names. Capitalization matters for societies. Ooh. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Strange thing is only have problems when displaying the username. Spacing is fine when displaying a user picture. Interesting. So maybe it's something wrong with a CSS file for text. Doesn't look like Windows. Well, yeah, it doesn't look like Windows, but what they mean by that is the layout is the same as Windows. It's not supposed to be a layout theme. It's just supposed to be a layout option. Let's see. Let's get a kernel update in the last 20 minutes. I don't know. I need to update. I usually do update my system, my Arch system on Wednesdays. So. All right, we're going to go ahead and pause. Let's see, where are we at? Yeah, we're going to go ahead and pause the comments there for now, and then we will come back and finish up after we do Linux Mint so that we don't run out of time. So, let's see. I think we skipped a few comments down there. Let's see. Just waiting for it to boot now. Advantage of Arch, opposite, for example, Ubuntu Debian, you have to think about the dependencies in general. We're going to pause that. All right, so here we are on the Linux Mint login screen. Basically the same setup. It's, basically the same. Enter my super secret password once again, and we will land in on the desktop here. And as I said, you're pretty much going to get almost the exact same thing you're going to get with any of the Linux Mints. They're all themed up to be much the same. You can just spot a few of the little subtle differences there. Primarily the menu, of course, is different, and the system tools and things. So here on the welcome screen on Linux Mint, I do find this one to be much more organized and easier to read. We have a brief welcome. We have the first steps. So here you don't have to install them. Maybe this is good. Maybe it's bad. At least the orange isn't like blinding to your face with changing the whole background bright orange. But you can go ahead and choose the color and the accents that you would like to use. So that's what it looks like. It looks very, very good, very slick like this. We'll stick with the dark and gray themes. We have the option to set up your system snapshots, basically like your restore points. We have have a driver manager. We do have a driver manager on Ubuntu Mate as well. It's just not in the welcome screen. The update manager, you can launch that. Your system settings. Here is the system settings on Mate. The greatest benefits for some of you guys, Mate still's got a screensaver, baby. I do miss the screensaver on Cinnamon. Mike, you might say, sure, you don't need to save your screen anymore. I know, but I just kind of, when I'm leaving the computer down, I look back, I like doing it. But by the way, though, this one here, this screensaver here, my cat likes to sit on the thing and bat at the screen. It is the most adorably cute thing you will ever see in your life. But we do have screensaver options as well, preferred applications, welcome screens, things like that. So nothing too out of the ordinary there. The software manager on this is a complete software manager. It's not one that only has the few more select items. And so you can actually do everything. And this one is going to show you your items from your repository and from your Flatpak as well. And it will clearly indicate which one is which. Now, Linux Mint blocks snaps by default, so there's not going to be any snaps. You can install snaps. They give you documentation for how to do that if you want them. But Linux Mint uses Flatpaks instead of snaps, but everything in this store is a full, complete store out of the box. We also have a much better updating system. So this guy over here, you can switch to a local mirror is what this big blue bar is asking us about. And when there's an update to do, then you'll be able to see all the package lists, choose what you'd like to update and what you'd not like to update. You can hold packages back if you know they're going to be problematic, or if it's some application that you just want to keep the current version with for whatever project reasons, you can go ahead and do that. So the updater is good. It's going to give you just a dot notification now on the system tray to indicate that there is an update, but it's not going to install or download or install anything automatically. So for that, you need to decide, do you want the pure automatic updates like Ubuntu Mate had, or do you want the updates that are not automatic as they have over here? So as far as, let's see what else we need to cover. Let's go ahead and look at our system monitor next. Now, this menu is different. This is the whisker menu. You can install the two different menus on each of the two operating systems. The big question is, which one do you want to use? And it's actually easy to swap those around. Because see, we're running on about 200 less meg of RAM over here. And so this is actually going to be a little bit lighter of a system than the Ubuntu version had. Maybe some of that's, hey, it's not running automatic checks for updates in the background and things like that. As far as the applications, the downside, we do not have a simple selector for our web browser. Although we can install most of the web browsers, Chromium in this version is locked out of it because of the snap snafu. That was probably Linux Mint's worst decision in history. But in 20.1, we should be seeing them package their own version of Chromium that is independent of the Snap Store, like we saw Pop! OS do. And so for now, though, if you do want to have an extra web browsers, you can just go into the Software Center and install them. So let's just see what we get when we type in web browsers. So Firefox, Midori, we have Epiphany browser, Lynx, Conqueror, Lynx 2. We have a Flatpak version of Firefox. There's NetSurf, GNOME Web. The one thing that you will not find in this one, I said, is Chromium. And I'm not sure we even have Google Chrome out of the box here. We don't. So if you were to click in on the Chromium, it's a dummy package. So to install something like Google Chrome, you are going to need to go online and grab it from the internet, which they have a deb package to easily install it. So it's not complicated. It's just not in the Software Center. So whether that's good or bad, you be the judge. As far as our applications, this one does have a few more applications built in because Linux Mint does agree with utilizing system tools. I personally like the system tools being there, although some people consider them bloat. Like, who in the world opens the character map? I might be the only geek who ever does, but I love it when the character map is on the system. It's one of the reasons I like Linux Mint, is because it has all these tools. You can see we have graphic tools, we have Thunderbird, oh, I wish it came with Evolution, but it doesn't. We have the full LibreOffice suite. If you noticed, Ubuntu only had the basic Office suite, so it has the Writer, the Calc, and the Impress installed. It might have the math, but it did not have the databasing. This one actually contains the databasing as well. Also easy to install. Not a lot of other software out of the box. And so this guy here, it's not super bloated. It's going to be a full, complete operating system. The other thing we don't have is we don't have the easy way to just single button click and change the panel layouts. But you can add new panels. You can edit panels. You can reset everything. You can actually go back and do anything to the system that they had in the other build. You just don't have the single click button to do it. And so there is how Linux Mint Mate works. Overall, both very good. Both of them are going to be very stable. Linux Mint's going to have a little bit lower memory usage. Mate is going to have a few more options. Mate does the updates automatically. Linux Mint doesn't, but will give you a notification about them. So those are kind of the factors. You just need to decide for yourself which one is the best. So which one should you use? I don't know. Frankly, I'm always been partial to Linux Mint because of the options that we have, but I have to admit that Ubuntu Mate does give a few more compelling reasons for using it. Easier customization, the ability to add the web browsers, and the fact that some people might want automatic updates, which I think Linux Mint actually can do. They just don't push that on you. So out of the box, I would say that for your basic, more normie user, if you just want something that operates very similar to Windows, then Ubuntu is probably going to give you a little bit better of an option. If you want something that is definitely more private, not going out and doing a lot of things in the background that you do not know of, and if you don't really care about setting up the theming differently, if you don't need the Cupertino layouts or things like that, Linux Mint might be the better choice. Although for now, I will still say until 20.1 comes out, I'd probably stick on the 19.3 for now because it's completely mature, and hey, Chromium is still an option over there for now. And so those things will be fixed in the next release of it. But nevertheless, they're both excellent distributions. There's no specific reason to run or not to run any of these for the general purpose user. You just need to know yourself, what are your needs, what do you need, and make those decisions from there. Of course, we didn't mention snaps a lot. Ubuntu is going to, by default, use snaps and no Flatpaks. Linux Mint uses Flatpaks and no snaps by default. And so you need to decide for yourself which one of those routes you would like to go down. So there is our take and our look at Linux Mint Mate versus Ubuntu Mate. Let me know which one of these is your favorite and why in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. All right, let's go ahead and shut this guy down. Then we'll get through the plethora of other comments that we happen to have. Then we'll feed a kitty. And then we'll get out of here. He's like down there looking at me. He's like, did I hear something about feeding a kitty? Today is really the only bad version of Mint. Such a weird menu and configurations. Oh. Well, like I said, you can change the menu if you want. Let's see. Firefox is the only FOSS browser of big names. Rest is all Chromium based. Yep. Sure, I'll be on the kernel 5.9 soon. Let's see. Still on Mint 19.2. All right. Firefox for downloads and 2 sites that act up with other browsers. People who updated around that time got affected. Most people did not. Yeah, I always wait for updates before updating things if I can. Found out you can set up only Office with Google Drive and OneDrive. Ooh, there you go. That would be neat looking at. I don't use either one of them, but that is a compelling argument, actually. Okay, Mint best with cinnamon. Mate goes best with Ubuntu. Okay, that's fair enough. Greetings, Dan. How's it going? Is that coffee you're drinking? This is coffee I'm drinking from my Switch to Linux mug. You can get one at shop.switchtolinux.com. Yes, this is I think it's like a chocolate mocha, I think. Yeah, I think I got a chocolate mocha today is what I'm drinking right now. It's very tasty. They had the coffee buy one get one free for like a super luxury type brand. I usually don't buy luxury brands, but it ended up being cheaper than the other stuff. Oh boy. Oh boy. I lost my spots. Is it catnip tea? Ooh, catnip tea. Catnip. Ooh, kitty wants your catnip. Hello, Randy. Greetings to you. Oh, Hellcat's thinking it's 000. Well, it's definitely not 123. I'll tell you that. Ooh, it could be 666. Oh, that'd throw people off. So many updates in Arch that I'm updating every 3 days or so. I update my Arch about once a week. Tell me, I made my login password Tesla autopilot, but my computer crashed. Oh! Very nice. There's an annoying bug in Ubuntu Mate when you select different languages. In my case, Portuguese. The icons from the menu get bugged and only show the error mark. Oh, that's not good. Statistically speaking, there's a lower chance of you getting some bug if you update once a week compared to every 2 to 3 days, because of that, in that case, someone might actually have caught the bug. Yeah. Thanks for making information videos. No problem, Bungy Ghost. Is it Bungy Ghost? Budgie Ghost? Bungy Ghost? Greetings. 010 doesn't give you the green variant of the default wallpaper, but recolored to the accent color. Wait, what? Yeah, if I'm interpreting that correctly, I agree. It shouldn't change the wallpaper. When you change the theme colors, it shouldn't change the wallpaper, particularly to that hideous orange. I mean, all of a sudden, I found myself staring in the center of the sun. It's where XFCE used to have a screensaver too. It might have. I've never been a huge user of XFCE. I'm using it on my Manjaro, or excuse me, not Manjaro, on my MX Linux computer, of course. And of course, Cubes. I've used it over there, but cat likes fish pics. Well, the cat likes the fish because the fish swim across the screen, and so the cat will bat at the screen thinking he's gonna, catch the fish or something. Yeah, I love the screensavers. I would so love to have the screensavers back. Screensaver vote goes to the lava lamp. All right. VirtualBox being buggy ever since they tried fixing what was never broken. Yeah. Okay, so I guess you can install a screensaver in XFCE 4 screensaver. Pantheon is the only DE, which is not really 100% cross distro. Well, there's a number of distros that actually use Pantheon. You can get it on Fedora. It's not bad over there. I've seen it pop up in a few other places as well. Install that screensaver easily on any distro. It's just the standard Xorg screensaver. There was some complication, though, to installing it in Cinnamon, the last I saw. Like, I had some download instructions for it, but there was a complication in doing it. And I didn't want to mess up the system. So maybe what I'll need to do is just spin it up in a virtual machine and play with it, see if I can get it. Switching to Linux Mint 100%. Already have it on the older computer and laptop. Yeah, Linux Mint is totally awesome. Brave and Vivaldi, a huge pain to load in it. Yeah. Seems that Pantheon is proprietary to Elementary. Well, I mean, they developed it, so it works best over there. But I have seen it ported out to other places. I haven't seen a lot of issues with it. Use Arch, and you really need to have one fixed day in which you make it a habit. Yeah, for me, that's Wednesday. So I'll do them. I'll do them today at some point. I did actually finally get GNOME 338 on the Arch computer, though. I looked at it once, and then I really don't like GNOME, so I went back to Cinnamon. I need to install Plasma on my Arch system. I love Plasma. It's fun. Disliking people recommending Ubuntu to gamers. Stop doing that. Okay. Couldn't Mint add all those one-click layouts? Well, the thing is, the way Mint's doing it is they are just calling a file to set the default theme, and all of the themes are installed and have always been pre-installed on Mint. They don't take a lot of space on the system. So they're all there, and all it's doing is just setting it and refreshing it. Do you like the mutiny menu on Ubuntu, Matei? Yeah, it's pretty neat. Okay. Do you think Linux Mint should get a budgie edition? I think that would be awesome if they could pull it off easily. Budgie is pretty cool. I actually have videos about how to get a budgie on Linux Mint. I'm not sure if it still works, but that would be pretty cool. You don't know what coffee you're drinking? Well, I drink a couple different coffees every day. I usually start with just a basic Folgers Black Silk. That's the first cup of coffee of the day. And then for the second cup, I go with flavor. I just couldn't remember if it was on my first or second cup of the day, but it was definitely the second. And then I don't keep a ton of flavors laying around, so I just have one extra flavor. And then when that's done, I'll go get another one. Hello, is it Kusetti? Greetings, Kusetti. Hello to you. Think you have to feed the Kraken Razzle on your chest? All right, I'll feed mine shortly. Let's get set up on OnlyOffice with other online drives. Yeah, I'll poke around at it. I'm still concerned OnlyOffice will not be able to do book formatting well. That's why I use LibreOffice. My opinion about Brave. I don't have super high opinions about Brave. I'm deeply concerned with the company behind it. The browser itself appears to be doing what it says it's doing, blocking things out. It is fairly fast. It renders well. So from a pure technical aspect, the browser itself, I don't really have a lot of qualms with it. The biggest concern I have is the company behind it. I'm not sure I trust them. And so that's kind of where I'm at. 010 joke on Linux Mint, given Ubuntu Mate having the colored wallpaper. Oh, no, I don't think the wallpaper should change at all. Yeah, I missed your joke, man. It didn't land with me. Your jokes seem to go over my head sometimes. Install X screensaver with all the extras selected with Synaptic. Usually use GL Matrix as a screensaver. I'll see if I can get that installed on a virtual machine. And then if I do, then I'll try it on one of my less important builds. Want to use the 3D Maze screensaver back? Yeah, back in the Windows day. That was awesome. I was like, oh my God, that's the coolest thing ever. Cool. I have Elementary OS on one of your laptops, KDE Neon on the other one, and Fedora on your main. Very cool. Yeah. I have not checked out Plasma 520 yet. No, I haven't. Hello, Ben. Greetings. How you doing, man? Good to see you as well. Yeah, you can install Google Chrome just doing a search online for it. They give you a deb package, I believe, or there's the PPA you can do as well. So Plasma on a laptop because I hook it up with the TV, HDMI, and everything scales nicely. Cool. Let me put the link. If it allowed me to put the link in, I can show you why wine broke. Go ahead and give it a try. If you can go ahead and, if nothing else, just separate out the .com or whatever. $100 fixing my sister's. You made $100 fixing your sister's laptop, redoing Windows 10 on a laptop for her to work. Horribly, they didn't want Linux. Shame. Oh, well, you got to give the customer what they want, right? And only change colors if you're on the default green wallpapers. Oh, the wallpaper only changes if you're on the default? Interesting. Why did it change back then? .3D pipes. Yeah, I like the 3D pipes. We're going to update your main rig on Linux Mint 20.1. Your notebook 6 comes out. At least opt in instead of opt out. All right. Let's go ahead and feed the beast. I got a beast down here that needs some feedings. Oh boy, beast. Oh boy, beast. Oh boy, beast. Give me the mouse. I need the mouse. Or the squeaker pad. Here. Oh boy, he's getting excited. Oh boy. No, there's nothing in my hand. You need to go in there. You're on your own. Oh yeah. Go on. No, go on. There's nothing in my hand, cat. It's right there. There's nothing in my hand. Hey, dummy, it's right on the lip of that thing. See it? There you go. Yeah. Are the fingers looking good? That's it, buddy. That's it. They're finger licking good. Yeah. Let's see. And Kitty's like, yep, I got my kitty treats. I'm out of here now. Are you going to be a fair weather friend and head on out? Come here. There you go, buddy. All right. Let's see. Working on a custom icon theme in GIMP. Cool. Okay. Will MX Linux 20 be based on Debian 11 Bullseye? I don't know. How many copies of VirtualBox are you allowed to have if you have 2 computers? Well, VirtualBox is that it does not have any commercial licensing, so you can have VirtualBox anywhere. The reason I don't use like VMware to do the videos is because I would have to have a commercial license because the videos are monetized on the channel, and I could not monetize videos without doing a commercial license. And so that's why I don't use VMware. But VirtualBox does not have any such restrictions, so you can have as many of them as you want. Install Ubuntu 20, snap stuff, quickly chased my, chased away onto pop. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. OS ARMS didn't last long either on my machine. Went back to the trusty Linux Mint 19.3, upgraded to 20, and still loved it. All right. Come on, installed it, used it for a week, loved it, but home will always be home. Going back to Linux Mint again. All right. Hey, you know, Linux Mint, it's awesome. What can you say? Good timing. My 3-year-old just woke up and said, eat. All right, Keegan. We'll see you, man. Okay. Thanks, guys. Still noob. No problem, man. No problem. Let's see. Nope. Oracle VirtualBox. Yeah, Oracle VirtualBox you can have on as many computers as you want. You can use it for any purpose you want. Linux Mint in 2016. Never had time to learn more advanced stuff. Yeah, Pop! OS is learning a lot of traction lately. And also, Pop! OS, if you don't like GNOME, Pop! OS has documentation for putting any desktop environment on GNOME. And that is the way to go. So, all right, guys, it's coming up on 3 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and head on out here for the day. Supporters stream tomorrow. Weekly news roundup as usual, 9 o'clock p.m. on Friday. You can also have a look over on the website at switchedtolinux.com/support for all the current ways to help support the channel. And we will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching this video from Switched to Linux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.